cool. That is intense. Peace is something that means a lot to me. I'd assume that is at least a background desire for most adult humans and probably an underappreciated reality for most children. Sometime around teenage years, we begin to become scorned by the troubles of the world, most of which are just hypothetical, over-intellectualized worries we created in our heads, stories we repeatedly tell ourselves that we eventually believe. Fictional novels transformed into autobiographies, you know? At some point, we tend to forget that we are the authors of our own lives. And they really don't have to be tragedies or horror stories. They can be adventures, epics, romantic comedies even. But most importantly, they are self-written. We may not be able to choose all of our life circumstances, but we can choose our perceptions about them. My intention with this album is to remind people of that choice.
I got horns on the diner, hypnotic for hitting that nigga, that's a chaser. Turn nothing to something, that pimpin', that's a savior. Best things are green, that pimpin', whoa, whoa! I love my life. I can control it, girl. What's amazing is how we keep it blazing. Down under the door, we smoking to the daisy. Like, you're the person who knows the song. Sagaru told me that clarity was essence, charity, don't forget it. So listen to who had the house song who used this type of instrument.
And do you want like a charity or like a charity? Boy, okay.
Yeah, I'm just talking.
Charity, this big thing.
The world told me to be minor. They say don't see major things, be wiser. Of course, that can be turned down hella. So it don't feel like take that shit out.
We're taking shit.
You motherfuckers better do your job and roll up and watch how we roll up. And I can't control it, can't hold it, it's all good. They take a sip of that yak, they wanna bug. They take a hit of that chronic and got them stuck. But really what's amazing is how we keep it blazing. Down under the door, we smoking to the daisy. Fuck the pants, don't fuck up rotation. Hypnotic for hitting that nigga, that's a chaser. Turn nothing to something, that pimpin', that's a savior. Best things are green, that pimpin' get your paper. We ash off the ground instead of skyscraper. Cool out, thinking we loco, come on, primarily, I got Banks, you know, and he's the engineer. Every other album I ever put out, I mixed and mastered myself. And although it was cool, the quality wasn't industry standard by no means. And so now the person who I got engineering the album is like, Banks is amazing. So, had every other album that I ever had been engineered also by Banks of the same quality, then they also would have been amazing albums too.
Charity is great to work with because he's a true artist. Really has his hands on in a lot of the process, or well, every part of the process rather. It's kind of a dynamic, right? We're like a duo. I'm mixing the project, but almost as a medium through him. I think I really like Mandark though. That's probably, it's just like such a, there's so much to it and it's so vast and the different sections. And it kind of kicked my ass, so like, that one.
Dexter, please don't tell me you're in here doing scientifically insignificant experiments again. You'll never be as smart as me, Dexter. You'll never be as smart as me, Dexter. Resistance is futile, Dexter. Surrender, Dexter. Surrender.
It's gonna be okay.
The unprofessional waits for inspiration to strike, but the professional realizes that inspiration will come after he starves. I used to never eat breakfast in high school or anything prior to that. Even in college, I didn't really eat breakfast. Just my health in general has been one of the primary things that's been keeping me away from where I want to be in life. So when shit in your esophagus happens right here, it makes you think that it's your heart. So you feel this pulsating, clenching feeling. In my short time here on Earth thus far, I've had the blessing of discovering a few facts about life that seem to be universally true. One of those is that life will require every individual to do the hard thing, and doing the hard thing will be imperative for every human being that intends on actualizing peace. For me, the hard thing has always been doing all the little mundane things about life that I don't feel like doing. Dishes, laundry, organizing, creating a routine, paying bills, even eating. Anything that requires order, discipline, or involves the not-so-pretty aspect of maintaining your day-to-day life, I have always avoided. Me and my best friend Jacob, who also struggles with the same issues, used to joke about it and say that to us, mess felt like furniture, like extremely difficult to move, yet seemingly comfortable enough to sit in. So we just let it sit there. We learned to sit in our mess, fester in our flaws. We would wear our shortcomings as a badge of honor, never once admitting to ourselves that we had stabbed this pen so deep into our chest that our vitality was bleeding out. Change then was no longer a choice. It became the holy fire to life. So whether the hard thing for you is embracing love or being seen or taking risks, you are going to have to walk through that fire in order to find the peace that you seek. And after death comes rebirth. Appreciate everybody for being here. This is the first time I'm about to play Satori 55.
Oh, it's so funny.
And we healthy, right? Satori 55 is about health and love and enlightenment and peace. So we drinking water, we toasting, and we living a good life. And this is a classic album. Life is wonderful. Life is remarkable. Satori 55 on 3. 1, 2, 3. Satori 55! Woo! 5, ready.
I had to change up to find peace in my soul. I had to change up to find peace in my soul. Lovely, lovely roads, ones I never thought I'd find myself on. Funny,
I'm not gonna lie to you, my goal with creating this album was to make a classic work of art. When I think of a classic album, I think about something that's forever etched in people's memories. You know, like so much so that it's associated with events in one's life, like a time marker. This will be the album that got somebody out of depression. This will be the album that an old married couple used to play together on road trips when they were dating, right? Like, Satori 55 will be the catalyst for someone's awakening. It will be the timestamp for the period in someone's life when they began to recognize their personal power. My goal was to create like a wellness retreat in audio form. That being said, the person who pressed play at the beginning of track 1 will be a completely revitalized and renewed person by the time they press stop at the end of track 13. So, I don't know if you're watching this documentary a week before the album releases or 10 years later, but let these words that I'm speaking right now be evidence of that intention made manifest.
Discipline is my way, yeah. My life run to it. Just like her makeup, make up my mind and I do it. Each day I wake up, inhale the prana, exhale the drama, then I'ma get to it. Knew it was promised, my focus, hocus, pocus, cadabra. I'm the man, that shit. I make to the light, you can that shit. Play my work and work my plan, now I'm saying now I get it. I clean my room, I fold the 50 sheets. Organized like organized, I'm borderline that nigga.